I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Hello, hello, hello to wherever you are in the world today. I'm just about to bring you on radio. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is the final Wednesday of International Women's Month, and it is my privilege and honor to come to you with this amazing segment. It is just such a privilege and an honor to be here, to be able to highlight wonderful women, because today is Wednesday and it is Wonder Women Wednesday. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are tuned in from in the world today. I want to say hello to our amazing. So I'm just checking on my phone because there's there's a chat that's happening on Africa Online Radio's website. So we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Africa Radio's Facebook page, as well as live on Africa Online Radio. If you would like to be part of the conversation on AfriCorp's WhatsApp group, you may do so by sending us a message at +2769 714 45204. I'm so excited to be able to highlight this wonderful woman that I'm going to bring on to speak with me and with you about about empowerment. We spoke about really what is empowerment and what does it mean, especially in the world today. And something that we need to realize is that, you know, when we strive for an equitable and just society, empowerment must be at the forefront of our efforts. Because by empowering individuals and communities, we can create a brighter, more hopeful future for us all. So let's work together to build a world where everyone has the power to succeed and make a difference. This year's International Women's Day was on March 8th. And the theme for International Women's Day was Embrace Equity. And I think the call to action needs to be that we not only embrace equity for that day, but for the rest of our lives. We need to strive for that because it is so important to make sure that we are empowering others and creating an equitable society for all. I'm excited to bring on this amazing woman. So, without further ado, you want to go ahead? It's fine. Go ahead. Take a sip of water. I can see her. She's pouring some water, so I'll give her a chance. But Dr. Nupi is known as the glitter practitioner and fondly known by friends as Mrs. Fizz Pop Giddy Pants. She is just amazing, and I let you know earlier that she well, my youngest daughter, Lana, has met her. And Lana, when I talk about Nupi, Lana always says, she always reminds me that glitter makes everything better. Before I bring her on, let me say hello to the people that are tuned in. So, hello to you, Cecilia Less, my fellow presenter. Thank you for being here. And also to you, Chrislyn Skippers. Thank you for tuning in and sharing this wonderful Women Wednesday post with us. It says, to every strong and powerful woman reading this right now, have a wonderful day. I love that. But I would say, instead of have a wonderful day, why don't we make it a wonderful day? Thank you to you, Buddy Mayor. Thank you for tuning in. I see you've tuned in. Lovely to have you here. So let's say hello to Noopy.
Wow, what an introduction. Oh my goodness. I was getting really quite emotional back then. Thank
I was so
you.
concise in what I had to say about you. I could go on, but I will allow you to introduce yourself to us. Please go ahead.
Okay. Why, thanking you. So, hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining myself and Inga today. Um, thanks, Lonnie. Hi, Diane. Hi, Whitney. Hi, Aaron. Oh my gosh, seriously. So, I am Dr. Nupi, aka the Glitter Practitioner, and I'm a family physician, a general practitioner in the UK. I'm also a spiritual and transformation life coach, a speaker, soon to be published author,
Woo-woo.
and live stream host myself, live with the Glitter Practitioner every Monday on LinkedIn. And I guess what I do, I love what I do. I really do. I love empowering other people, patients, my clients,
Mm.
truly how to recognize their whole self health needs. And that is when I talk about that, it's your physical health, emotional, psychological, and spiritual. It's all combined. And when you know what those needs are, when you are honoring them, when you're taking ownership of them, and knowing how to really keep those needs topped up, that's when you are in balance with your whole self. And that's when the magic literally starts happening. And I'm living proof of it. My patients living proof, as are the clients I've worked with. I just love it. I love people, and I love life. I was just co-hosting with with Scott for us, and we were just saying, what's your tagline kind of thing, and I just went, I just love life, and it's true. I really do.
I love that.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank
you're
you for being
welcome.
here. Let's go ahead
Okay.
and say hello
Yes.
to the people that are tuned in on LinkedIn and YouTube as well as Facebook. Um, but before we do that, I'd like to point out the wonderful glitter that's surrounding us.
Oh yes, sorry, I should have said, shouldn't I?
No,
I
glitter makes everything
love,
better, right?
I love it. Yes, and it's actually matching my we didn't plan this at all.
No, we
It's
didn't.
matching. Look.
Oh, I see the glitter on your eyelids. Oh my word.
Yes. And
Um,
these are the remnants from when I had that curling disaster. Anyway,
yes, if you didn't know, Dr. Nupi had a curling disaster on Monday.
it's so
But go and
funny.
check out her episode if you'd like to know more. Let's say hello.
Nice.
Hello to you, Raven. Thank you for tuning in. Nice to see you. She's tuning in from South Africa. And then we have Lonnie Ray.
I know, I love Lonnie. Hi,
She's
Lonnie. Thank you so much for joining. Thank
Yes, thank
you.
you. She says Dr. Nupi is the perfect guest
Bless
for
you.
this celebration of International Women making a huge difference.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. And oh wow. Hello, Kristen. She's tuned in on Facebook. She was listening earlier on the
Yeah.
radio as well. So Kristen says, good afternoon to all the beautiful women. Thank you. And hello to you,
Aaron!
Erin. He says, hello, hello from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Thank you.
Oh, he's
Thank you
such.
for being here. He
Thank you.
says, he says, you're so wonderful, Nupi.
And you.
And he says, yes, you're absolutely amazing too, Inga. Thank you. And then we
Hi,
have,
Dan.
hello, Diane. Thank you for tuning in. She says, hello, all. Happy Wednesday. And then speaking about empowering others, awesome. Aaron says, go fist bump. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
God. I've
yes.
just noticed who else is here. I'll
I
let you.
love to see. Thank you, Whitney, for tuning in. I see she's saying good morning to Diane. Always lovely to see the networking happening in the comment section. So make it wonderful. Yes, Diane. Thank you. Aaron is he's cheering for you. And Katie says, hello,
Oh,
Inga and Nupe. Hi,
hi.
sis. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you. And Aaron says he's here for his family. Thank you, Aaron. Yes, she is. Lonnie says, how gorgeous is Nupi today, especially bright and
Oh,
beautiful. Oh
bless
my
you,
gosh.
Lonnie. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Amber. Hello,
Hi,
Amber. She says,
Amber.
hey, hey, Inga and Dr. Nupi. And, oh, what happened? An explosion of comments. I'm scrolling and all of a sudden there's more. Aaron says, we love you.
Love you too.
And splatter the glitter everywhere from Diane. Thank you. Oh,
And
wow.
look who's turned up.
Look who's here.
Oh,
Hello.
hi, Eva.
Hello,
Bless
Eva.
you.
Thank you for being here. She's giving us
Hello.
Dr. Nupi's link for LinkedIn. Thank you.
Ev,
And her
can I
email
just,
as well.
sorry
Yes,
to,
go. Go.
I
No, no,
just want
no.
to say, I want to give a huge shout out actually to Eva, because
Say, say.
without Eva, I really don't think I could be doing what I do on the Glitter Practitioner without Eva and also Russ. And she's just amazing. Thank you
Mhm.
so much, Eva. Honestly, she's
Awesome.
fabulous.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, Eva. And Aaron says, I accidentally tripped on a glitter bomb. It's on LinkedIn. A glitter bomb. Oh my gosh. Sonia Basseroy says, hello from California. Thank you.
I've just seen Amber's comment.
Amber says,
Yeah.
yes, she said, Amber Hallowell says, Dr. Nubi is still getting over the foam rollers.
Yeah,
Oh
look.
my word.
Oh my word. Amber, I met Amber in real time, well, Zoom real time on
Oh,
Monday after my
nice.
show, after the Glitter Practitioner. I butterflied over to join Matt's live stream show
Yes,
and
it's
met
been a
just
crazy week for you.
it has. And it was such a great, it was brilliant. We had such a giggle.
Awesome.
And that was the day that I'd done this, done my note to self, don't put rollers in wet hair, as my daughter advised me to. But yeah.
Well,
So
you wouldn't know
I'm still,
without trying it anyway,
yeah,
right?
true.
So now you know.
Well, my hair's really naturally wavy and I love it
Mhm.
bouncy. But when I was
Mm.
very little, my hair used to be corkscrew curls. So it was like, okay, but it went out here.
That's okay. It looks lovely.
Oh, anyway, sorry.
So, okay, let's hop over to the questions.
Okay.
Um, let me ask you, can you walk us through your career journey
Mm,
that led you to where you are today, please?
I certainly can. So my career journey, I always knew I wanted to be a doctor. And I was a straight A student. I worked hard. I was predicted all my grades. I got all the interviews for med school. And for my A levels, so the subjects that you need to take to enter medical school, I'd really worked hard, and I was predicted what I was predicted. Do the exams, and I remember physics was, I didn't really get it, just didn't really understand. And I have to say this, it wasn't, I basically failed miserably. I got a big fat D and I was predicted an A. And that was the requisite to get into med school. And I was not partying. It wasn't me not studying or revising. It was genuinely, I hadn't really understood the subject, but I hadn't spoken up either. And that was my first, I guess, pivot moment, because I was like, what the hell has just happened here? I've never failed in my life. What the hell? And, you know, I got offers for dentistry, and my mum was sort of, oh, Nupi, I think you should just take it. You're older in the year anyway. And when you finish the course, you know, you're going to be older, and then all of this other stuff. And I was like, no disrespect to dentists, but I was like, I'm not doing dentistry. No chance. I don't want to look in people's mouths. It's people. That's what really does light me up. So I remember my parents just being amazing and talking it through, talking the options through. And I decided, come hook or crook, I'm just going to give this my best shot. And retook physics in this like grammar course, basically, which was 3 months. About a month in, I got a call from Guy's and St Thomas's, the medical school in London. I had done really well in their interview, and I was apparently on a wait list. And they called to say, we've had some people drop out. You were on our reserve list. If you're ready, you can start now, essentially. And I was about a month into physics, into the 3-month grammar course, and I was like, thank you, but no thank you. I am doing what I'm doing. I want to get this grade. And then I'd already got those offers were still holding for when I'd finished this. And I just understood it. It was taught in a very different way. And I went from a D to an A in 3 months, and then had the rest of the year out most kids would have probably gone traveling, and I didn't. I just worked in a local bakery in our village and went on lots of family holidays, but it was brilliant. And that was the beginning. And I think I've told that story because right from the word go, and I actually share this with students when I'm mentoring students in the high school that I went to, as well as kids, you know, maybe family friends whose kids didn't get the grades or whatever, or even medical students. I was like, you know what? You can always do that again. It's not the end of the world.
Yes.
And I guess, you know, I did fail, but it was probably, again, one of the better things that actually happened. It was that first, I guess, exposure to, hold on a minute, what the hell happened there? And it was me not speaking up, which was a sort of a recurrent theme until I learned how to value my needs and actually speak up. This is what I wanted. And I remember Mum saying, oh, honey, Nupi, why did you not tell us you were struggling? We could have got you a tutor and this. And I was like, I didn't want to, because I felt I should be able to do it. And, you know, this pressure that I'm a failure if I don't understand this now. So that was a really, really good foundation as the first step pre getting into med school. But anyway, that was the start of my journey.
Wow.
Then loved medical school. It was bloody brilliant. I had a great time. And yes, that's when I was a party girl, and I loved it. Literally. Well, I was in London, for heaven's sake. You know, I was in Elephant and Castle, which it's South London, and the Ministry of Sound club was literally up the road. It was like my living room. Seriously, I was just always there, and I loved it. I just loved I loved dancing, and it was just in its heyday. Oh, it was brilliant. Anyway, and then completed medical school, loved every minute, and then started junior doctor training. And I just love the interaction. I used to love hospital medicine, actually. And my kids actually recently, because they've started watching Grey's Anatomy, not ER, but Grey's Anatomy. And my daughter's like, is it like that? Is it really like that? You know, and I was like, there's a lot of shenanigans going on, and there's a lot of, you know, drama in the backstories. And I said, no, it's not as dramatic as that, but yeah, kind of. So that was really good. And I always knew I wanted to do general practice from a very early on in my career. And that was always because I love people. I've always been a chatterbox. I'm curious. I'm nosy. I'm like, ooh, so what happened? Why did that happen? I'm always asking, I want to know more.
Yes.
And that really fits well in community practice, because for me, it's the whole person. And I've
Yes.
always, whatever somebody's presenting with in their physical health, perhaps, I always want to know more. What's going on behind? What was going on maybe 5 steps behind this? And you put it into context of somebody's, not just their life day to day, but their backstory.
Yes.
So they understand their health better and their health needs and what they could do differently. And I've always had that approach.
Yes.
And very early on, again, I've been a GP partner for the majority of my career. So I've been a doctor for 25 years, and which makes me sound so friggin' old. Oh my God. It really does. It's half my life. It's half my life. I mean, it's ingrained in me. I'm not
Yes.
yet 50. I'm going to be turning 50 in August, let me just say. But oh my, I know. But I don't, it's a number. I feel
Yes.
like I'm still 10 years old with like corkscrew curls coming out of my head kind of thing. I'm very in tune with my little loopy and just embrace that massively. Yes, so I've been a doctor for 25 years, and then majority of my career I've been a GP partner. So I have led in child safeguarding. Those are my specialist leads. Child protection, child safeguarding, domestic abuse, also nationwide, as one of the clinical leads, trauma-informed care, adverse childhood experiences, deprivation medicine. All of these have been my specialty roles, and HR. And I guess it reflects what and how I practice, which is root cause medicine. Beyond, so you're delving beyond what somebody's presenting with, because that's very often a manifestation of something else, what else is
Yes.
going on, and sooner or later it all fits together. And I always say, I did a talk actually when the kids were younger at their primary school, and it was they bring in the parents for inspirational speaks and talks for assembly. And I did one, I think, when was this? About five years ago. And I did a mini presentation of the F list, but I didn't swear on the first one. I changed it to make it child friendly. I was so pissed off, but I was very respectful. And it was just gorgeous to share that with the kids as well. And yeah, I lost my train of thought then. What was I saying? I've had
So
to sleep.
okay, so you've walked us
Yeah,
through how
yeah.
you went through university,
Oh,
you
yes,
failed,
yes,
and
yes. Root
you
cause.
became a GP.
Yes.
But we want to talk about the other side of the GP too.
Okay.
What does that stand for? Your glitter practitioner.
Oh,
Can you tell
okay.
us how you became a glitter practitioner
Yeah.
and what it means?
So the glitter practitioner came about. I've always been obsessed with glitter. I don't do this because my name, I've changed it to, this has been always the case. So I would go to
Yes.
work, like even in, with your masks on, not through the pandemic, but even in theatre or in junior doctors, we could see these eyes like this with glitter all over it. It's always been what I love doing.
Yes.
And my patients would remember, and the little ones, so like Lana's age or even younger, whatever,
Yes.
they come in, and because of my surname being Aurora, which is obviously Princess Aurora,
Yes.
they'd come in and I would be very kid-like. I'm like, hello, yes, it's Prince. Yes, I am a princess. I'm actually a Dr. Princess. And talking to the little kiddies, and before you know it, just by
Yes.
just messing around, playing, I've examined them very quickly. You can do top to toe pretty quick. And
Yes.
pediatrics is one of my specialties as well. I've always loved pediatrics. And the little children would always sort of give their mums, can you give this to Dr. Princess Aurora, please, next time you see her? And I'd have my room filled with pictures. And it was like this,
Adorable.
round circle and a made up face, and just then splodges of glitter everywhere. So that's how people remembered me. Patients who had perhaps not ever met me before or seen me would go back to reception and say, "Can I see that doctor with the glittery eyes, please?" You know, and that's how they couldn't remember my name. And I'll never forget, I'd gone around on a home visit. It's really elderly gentleman, wasn't very well. I'd gone in, and I think we were doing a campaign for cervical cancer and screening. So I came in and I had like pink glitter here. We all did. I just glitterified the whole staff. And I went on this home visit. I totally forgot I had glitter here. And oh, bless him. He was like, "Oh, hello, are you the doctor?" And I said, "Yes, yes, yes." And he knew my dad, who was also one of the partners. And I spoke to his daughter just to give her an update that his dad's fine. We're going to do this. And she said, "My dad was really taken with you." He said, "I just seen the most sparkliest doctor who came in covered in pink glitter." And genuinely, she thought that he was maybe a bit delirious at one point. Seriously. And I couldn't stop giggling. And I was like, "No, that's true. I actually do have pink glitter all over my face." And explained the story and then got chatting. So that is one of the reasons. And
Yes.
the other reason, and my friends would always say, I did what's it called? Face painting. I basically set up a stall for PTA. One of my friends was running it. And she said to me, "Could you come and do maybe some glitter?" And I was like, "Yes, of course. I've got a whole trunk full." So I did it. And I was doing like just some signs and stuff. And then my friends were just messing around going, "Oh, Nupi, you could be the glitter practitioner. You can come in." And I was then taking it on board, taking it one extra step, going,
Yes.
"Oh my God, yeah, because you come and see me, I make you look better and all sparkly, and then you leave feeling sparkly because of all the work that we do together." And that's exactly what patients have also said when they've met me, seen me, or had a consultation. Their very words are, "It's like I sprinkle magical glitter with my words, and everybody needs some glitter in their life."
Mm-hmm.
And then the third reason, as Lana would say, glitter does make everything better. And the third reason, truly, what I mean by the glitter is your unique inner light. And when you are aligned with your needs, your values, your purpose, that's when you've got this. It's like the everlasting gobstopper from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You've got an everlasting supply of inner glitter, which is your essence, and it literally fountains out.
Yes, you shine from within.
Yes, and the glitter it spreads to other people. It's inspiring. It encourages it. Oh, it's incredible because it does. Like glitter, you go and hug somebody and you give them a cuddle or whatever, and glitter. When I've been around,
Yes.
people are. I'm a very huggy person, and they're literally covered in like splodges here, and I'm like, "Have you been Nupi? You've just had a hug with Nupi or whatever."
Yes.
I don't mean it in a weird way, by the way. It's people who I know, and
That's right.
not being inappropriate or anything. But yes, and it does stick and spread, and it's that when I see. So when patients come in to see me, or used to come in to see me, I know what's wrong. I can see it in their eyes. I can just feel it. It's an energy, and I can just sense. Then I use my skills as a doctor and my intuition, putting it all together, what I'm picking up. And when I go through the F list, hold space, show somebody the box breathing that I teach and show.
Yes.
Doesn't take long. So I do it there and then. Every single time my patient sort of opens up their eyes and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that feels amazing. It's like a big weight's been lifted." And I've just talked. I've not done any prescription. I've shared and then done this breathing exercise. And when they open their eyes, that's really, again, the glitter, because I see that light sparkle back. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And I know they've received, and I know they've connected with what I'm sharing. It's amazing. And that's where the healing starts. And that's what I guess that's what I'm bringing in. I've always done this subconsciously before my burnout, but consciously post burnout. It's everything I've learned for me that I'm sharing, which is glitter, basically.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
No
Um,
problem.
so, one thing that people would probably know about me, if you know me, is that I am really an advocate for the philosophy or the principle of Ubuntu. And what does that mean? Here is the definition. So,
Yes.
Ubuntu is an ancient African word meaning humanity to others. It is often described as reminding us that I am because we are.
I
And
love that.
that's why community is so important to me. I believe that we curate our community, and we need to
Definitely.
curate our community and look at people um, that really have wonderful characteristics that we want to emulate and invite them to be part of our community. So, Nupi, what does
Mhm.
community mean to you?
Community to me is, gosh, it's everything. That's why it's on my F list.
Yeah.
It's one of my key principles. Again, the things that I share with others, and it comes as friends on the F list, which is about connection.
Yes.
And it's connections and community that uplift you. I call them my golden soul connections, and I've met so many coming onto this platform. It's been incredible. And I think that's why I was getting emotional actually before, because it's been a year. Well, it'll be a year in a couple of weeks,
Yes.
and so much has changed. Oh my, I'm good. Yeah, I'm just going to get emotional. So, but happy emotional. It's
Yes.
incredible, and that for me kind of says, what does this mean to me? It's everything. I am so grateful for like-minded souls, people who recognize they see you. I see you, and I know they see me.
Yes.
And there's a lot to be said with that. That's what human beings need. And I guess over this last year, that trust has been restored, that faith in other people has been restored. I'm not going to go into the whole rigmarole of it all, but
Yeah.
if what my pivot to coming onto LinkedIn, I'm still doctoring, but my pivot was because of a breakdown in team functioning, and it was it was horrible. Nowhere near as bad as burnout, but it did still shake me. Burnout was my absolute foundation. I live and breathe what I share, have done for the last 10, 11 years.
Mm.
But it's when you recognize, okay, it's time to move on. And, you know, at the age of 49 at the time, I'm at the top of my game professionally in terms of what my lead roles, etc. And then actually going, no, I value how my needs, and you can only have so much passion and purpose. You also need the right environment to flourish and flourish forwards. And I made probably the bravest decision of my career and pivoted. And that's when I did coaching diplomas and decided really, okay, the reason I did that was because I wanted to share my teachings, my learnings, everything that has worked for me and my patient community with as many people as possible. And that is why I came on to LinkedIn, to find my tribe, to find like-minded, and also to glitify as many people as I possibly could and share it as widely as possible. And that is why I came onto LinkedIn. And it's been
Awesome.
the most incredible journey. And it's been all about those incredible connections, heart-centered connections. And it is everything for me. It really is, because I think once you have that, you don't need many. And that's what I say. It's finding the ones who, you know, that help you shine brighter and are on absolute, they want, it's unconditional. That's the word I was looking for. It's unconditional. And once you get that, once you have that, cherish it. Cherish it. And
Beautiful.
absolutely, you deserve nothing less than that. Don't
Awesome.
settle for anything else.
Absolutely.
That's what it means to me.
Thank you. And just so that you know, this conversation is taking place on LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Africa Online Radio's Facebook page, and also on the online radio platform. So if you'd like to listen in there, you may do so on africa.co.za. We also have an exclusive WhatsApp group for people that are listening in. So if you want to join the conversation, please do so by sending us a message on +2769714452004. Thank you. Wow. Community. Community is everything, and it just makes me feel so warm and fuzzy
Yes.
and really full of glitter,
Yes.
like you say.
Yes. I can see it in
So
our faces, and that's the
yes,
thing. And that's how we connected, really, when I first came on, in fact, through
yes,
Russ's shows, just, fizz popping the comments and just chit chatting away. But we sort of face to face
yes.
connected just this year. And it's, we've got so many, that's the thing. It's just, I'm looking at you and I'm like, oh my God, you're beaming. And it's just beautiful to
Oh,
see. I love it.
I love that too. And just when you connect heart to heart with someone, that is so,
Oh,
oh
yes.
gosh, I have no words. I have
That's
no
the,
words really.
that's when I get all fist poppy. And that's, I
Yes,
can't help it because it's that energy flow. And it's like, oh, the fizz tingles start happening and I get all top
yes,
to toe goosebump
yes.
tingles, or there'll be robins coming in the garden. And genuinely, this, I just noticed the signs from the universe. I guess because I'm tuned into me and I'm tuned in to others and
Yes.
bigger, and it's gorgeous. And then I just get all fizz pop and I can't help myself and I get really giddy. And it's because it's gorgeous and I want to share it
Oh
with
my
everybody.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Or I'll just cry out of happy tears, not sad tears. Yeah.
Wow. Um, I want to just actually speak about a little bit about how is your career journey related to community.
I love these questions, by the way. They're really juicy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look over a few bits, so I'm just thinking, oh,
Yeah.
I like this question. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. Tell us how's your journey, and I know that you have a community of patients, right?
Mm.
But you also have a community of people that you coach.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about your story related to what you teach in terms of
Yeah.
the F list, please?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, my career and community, it goes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it always has been. And for me, I would always say, and this is what I feel and believe, and I guess this is why I love what I do so much. It has always been and always will be an absolute privilege and an honor to be the family GP, the family doctor. And the way I see it is there's not really many professions who are allowed to step into somebody's life with that unconditional level of trust. It's everything, and you get to see what's really going on in that person's life and really piece things together. And from that, you get to also tailor their package of care, that person's package of care, relevant to their needs. And I think as a doctor, there's a part, I guess, from maybe social care, but then with social care, there comes a lot of people are still a little bit hesitant and they're a little bit dubious about it. Whereas you trust your doctor. I
Yes.
know that sounds really cheesy and really old school,
Old
but
school.
there's that level of trust, which I think that to me is a privilege. And that's what I've always said. And that is that feeling of that community. And that's what it's all based on. And it's not just that one person either.
Yes.
When that one person that you're maybe helping, dealing with whatever the issues, they can, that the impact that actually has on that person is not just that one dynamic, one transaction. It's they are getting better, they are whole and healing. That impacts their own direct relations, their own family.
Yes.
And then this affects their friends. And that's the ripple effect that happens in
Yep.
the community. I've seen this. I've been a part of this.
Yes.
And that, again, it goes hand in hand. And it just goes hand in hand, my career with community. And I guess that's what I love the most. That's what I love. It's absolutely what I love. Because you can impact that change. And it takes one little step. And I always say it's like those ripple effects that go out.
Yeah.
They're more powerful than you can even imagine because of the reach. And you join these ripple effects of glittery love, which is unconditional. That's essentially what we're spreading. Oh, you join those together, you get a frigging tsunami. The power behind that is incredible.
Yes.
And I've seen that. And that's, again, another reason I'm like, there has to be more. I must find my like-minded people and bring this and just keep on making all these ripple effects, because the more you have, boom, you get more glitter going and flowing.
Yes.
And
I
the
love it.
second part of
Can
your
you share?
yes.
Yes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go. Go.
So you wanted to know the backstory
Yes.
as to all of this. So that
Yes, because I before you came on, I actually shared with the radio listeners that you are a burnout warrior.
I
So I'd
am.
like you to share a little bit about that, and what your F list entails, and how we can help others, how you help others to overcome that.
So yes, I am a burnout warrior, and so proud of it as well.
Good.
So burnout for me was, I mean, yes, I failed getting into medical school. That was a journey.
Yes.
And there's obviously bumps along the way, and they were also my journeys and learnings. Burnout for me was probably the biggest one and the most impactful. And it was the shittiest one as well. Sorry, it's really early, isn't it? I just keep
It's
thinking.
okay.
Sorry. Sorry, listeners. I forgot we're on the radio, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay.
Sorry,
Go be
listeners.
you.
With bells on. Yes, okay, I will. It was the shittiest time. It was awful. And I think at the height of burnout, I genuinely, I just felt I was breaking apart. I didn't know who I was. I was lost. And it was like being stuck in muck. And just, I was face down, sinking in quicksand.
Wow.
And there was just no way. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out. And I couldn't be asked. I just had gone, I'm done.
Wow.
And that feeling, and that recurrent feeling of, who's going to miss me if I'm not here? What value do I bring? What is my worth? That was almost what kind of slapped me, metaphorically. It gave me the shake I needed. And burnout doesn't happen overnight. It was very much an insidious process. And I had a part to play in it. My own perfectionism, my own unrelenting standards, my inability to voice or assert my needs. And that had a massive part to play. Not being able to say no, being the yes person, the people pleaser. All of these things stemmed right the way back to when I was as a kid. And I had, trauma. People sort of use the word trauma. I know it's thrown about a lot recently, but trauma does not necessarily mean that, you're being abused and there's extremes.
Yes.
And It's your reaction as a child to something that has wobbled you, that has had a negative impact, and has almost sort of just rattled you, is how the best I can explain it. And that can be somebody, and it's not because there's not enough love there, but it can be the way we parent sometimes, our expectations of our children. There's lots of norms and lots of variance here. Essentially, as a kid, you're looking for approval. You are looking for love, nurture, support, boundaries to a degree, room to grow, spread your wings, make mistakes and learn, and
Yes.
the boundaries to bring you back. And that is essentially, healthy childhood, healthy adult. It's not perfect. Life is not perfect. Life can be a complete shitter. And that doesn't happen for most people as well.
Yeah.
And it's learning how to navigate that. So as a kid, you would, I'll talk through me as an example, a sense of both parents, high achievers, high achieving, an expectation, studying, grades, this, okay, not feeling good enough. If I didn't get this, I was not loved. There was a fear of failure. There was a fear of rejection there. So what do? As a combat, as a coping mechanism? Prove myself, seeking for approval, people pleasing was part of that. And the grit, the determination that comes with that, it's exactly what you need if you're going to sustain a career in medicine and get into medical school in the first place. So yes, that propelled me, but there's only so far you can go. And this was, it was before I turned 40, so late 30s or something. And again, it was with a role change. I become a mum of twins. And yes, I'm a pediatrician specialist in kids. I was a child specialist as well. That doesn't mean you know how you're going to be as a mum. And I remember just feeling so overwhelmed. And I remember calling my mum the night before I had them, which I carried to term. And I was like, oh my God, how do I do this? What do I do? How do I wash a baby? I don't know what to do. And what happens? What do I do with the other one? And it was just, I was in panic mode. And it sounds ridiculous now, but it wasn't at the time.
It's
And
not
I think
ridiculous.
it's not ridiculous.
No.
It's this expectation that I can do it all.
Yes.
I need to be this. I need to be this to prove my worth.
And sadly, it's not necessarily people or outsiders that think that, but it's us that,
Yeah, but it's a conditioned response as well. Something has created that. We don't, as kids, I guess, you don't know that.
No.
It's almost what you absorb. It's society,
Yes.
it's culture, it's hand-me-down, generational trauma as well.
Yes.
And that is no disrespect to anybody. I can see mum and my parents, obviously, they did what they could and they thought was best. Their upbringing shaped them.
Yes.
That's what I mean by that.
Yes.
Having said that, all of these things, I'm giving a very simplistic explanation here, but that was my part to play. So you develop your own personality from your experiences, your perspective of the world, etc.
Yes.
And that is what shaped me. So you can only sustain for so long. So when I had the kids and I'm going back into work, going back as a GP partner, the babies were only 8 months old.
Jeez.
And I was, okay, I've got this. Yes, I'm the doctor. Yes, I'm the mummy. Just about. Yes, I'm a wife. Yes, I'm a daughter. Trying to do it all with this internal voice going, if I don't go and pick up the kids, that's me not being a good mum. Where did I get that from? my mum gave up her career to look after us, and she would always say, "Look, it's really important that you're there, crucial timings, da da da." And I'm like, yeah, but I've just spent the last 20 years studying in medical school and blah de blah. I can't just leave my clinic and go. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I had help, I had childcare, but at the end of the day, you're still the mum, and the buck really does stop with you, especially when they're little. I think
Yeah.
you having a supportive partner, of course, there are so many people who don't even have that.
Yeah.
But there are certain times in the kiddie's life where all they really want is mummy. And it was just, okay, I do this, I can then have to be this, and then, you know, this, I need to lose the baby weight. I remember I need to lose the baby weight. Oh my gosh. I'll go and I was having personal training then, and it was great. But when I turned up, and I'd be like, oh, I can't be asked. I'm shattered because the kids were waking up all the time through the night. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And at the time, it wasn't just those factors. There was stuff going on at home between me and my husband at the time, and it wasn't good. It was shit. And then there was pressure at work.
Yeah.
2 senior partners retiring. I'd reduced my sessions. Excess pressure. Again, it was coming at me, or it felt, from all angles. But I didn't say anything. I kept on going, kept on pushing through. And I eventually I just ignored the signals from my own body. Headaches, aches and pains, just getting harder and harder to keep this mask on. And I think because of my personality, people thought I was fine. Absolutely fine. There's nothing, she's her usual self. I think I became very good at hiding that because that's what I do. I just keep pushing on. And I remember just feeling like a shell, essentially. And I remember looking, and I mean, this, you know, I maybe just put mascara on. There was certainly no glitter going on, that's for sure. And I just remember looking, I'm like, who are you? Who are you? And I was just like, ugh, it just, I felt like a washed out, grey, rank dishcloth is what I would describe it as.
Wow.
And everything was very grainy, grey, sludge coloured.
Yeah.
And that's not me.
No. Yes. No. Not at
And it
all.
was those thoughts of who would miss me? Who would miss me? And I remember driving home a few times, not just once, and thinking, I think it'll be easier. You know, I could just turn my wheel this way. I would never do anything.
Yeah.
Turn the wheel this way. Actually, I think it'd be easier to, if I got hurt, that would give me some time out. I mean, what tough is that? If I have an accident now, it gives me some breathing space for myself.
Yeah.
And that is what really, okay, I am so not okay. And that's when I allowed myself to crash and burn.
Wow.
And when I saw the specialist, and it was through my specialist, I managed to have chemotherapy. It was all on health insurance at the time. He sort of said, you know, doctors are the worst at looking after themselves. They're very good at putting other needs first. Totally agree. This is the mentality that you kind of have. Suck it up, keep going, keep going. Very, you know, you've got determination, you've got grit, you've got type A personality, achieving. You don't want to be failing. All of these things.
Yeah.
And you give a shit. If you actually care about what you do with a passion, if you don't know what your needs are and how to maintain or protect them, you're going to suffer big time.
Yeah.
So it comes with a double-edged sword. Yes, it makes you the most compassionate, empathic, caring, all the soft skills, but also you have to be aware, which is why I'm so passionate about sharing this and showing others. But at that time, he said to me, you know, you've been running on empty for probably a good couple of years, if not more. And typical perfectionist, you know, you've really gone through the tank. passed into the reserve tank. And
Yeah.
I've written in part of my book, it was like, the spare cans of petrol, that the fuel that was I keep in my boot,
Jeez.
metaphorically, I've used them as well. And that's
Yes.
how it was. But
Wow.
I was still functioning
Mm.
just. And
Yeah.
it's just, and that's where I had to stop. I had no choice. I was
Yeah.
literally flat down.
Yeah.
But it was that moment that changed my life.
Wow.
Truly,
Wow.
truly.
Wow. I think more people face burnout
Mm,
than we ever want to acknowledge,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
to ourselves and to
yeah,
others out in the world.
yeah.
Um, I just I wanted to define burnout for us so that we
Mm,
understand what it
yeah.
is. And I'm looking at a definition from
Mm,
WebMD, and it says burnout is a form of exhaustion caused by constantly feeling swamped.
yeah,
It's a result of excessive and prolonged emotional, physical, and mental stress.
yeah,
In many cases, burnout is related to one's job. Burnout happens when you're overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to keep up with life's incessant demands.
yes,
And many people then wonder, okay, so if that's what burnout is, how does it present? What are the different symptoms?
yeah,
Um, can you share a little bit
yeah,
about that with
yeah,
us, please?
absolutely. So initially, you might just find, I mean, the classic example or the classic description of what it feels is at the right towards the end, where you are disconnected from yourself, from your purpose. There's no enjoyment with your work, which it's specifically work related, but the classification is broadened now in terms of
Uh,
it's the emotional, it's everything else as well. It's not
yes,
just work.
yes,
um, and it is this, so the disconnection, the cynicism that starts coming in, so getting more snappy, the things that
yes,
perhaps you absolutely loved, and that just does not fulfill you anymore. And there's a real crossover with similar symptoms that you get with depression:
yeah,
last lack of interest,
yeah,
loss of motivation,
yeah,
feeling sad, feeling down, but it's persistent. All of
yes,
these, they have an overlap, and very commonly people who are presenting with burnout are also, it's of course your mood's going to be completely off and then it kind of bounces off each other. The other, the way, that's the extreme, but leading up to it, which is where that's where I want to help more people so they don't get to that phase,
yeah,
is your body starts talking to you. So sleep issues, not being able to switch off, constantly worrying, especially if you're a perfectionist. I'm now a reformed one, but I still have to watch it. Um, is, oh, did I do the right thing? So you start ruminating more,
yes,
or then you don't, either to what could happen or perhaps what has happened in the past. Physically, aches and pains, headaches. I remember having, I was exhausted, and that's why I love the word frazzled, because to me, the
huh,
definition is physical, emotional, complete, utter bone weary exhaustion, which really sums up what burnout feels like. That's what it feels like. And I was and no amount of, that's the important bit actually, that, just having a bit of time out, you think, okay, if I go away or have a weekend off, I'll feel better. I get enough sleep, I shall feel better. That tiredness will go, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. And then very commonly,
yeah,
because of the way you're feeling, I'm knackered all the time. So you increase your caffeine, you then, you start comfort eating, that's my thing, or you don't eat enough properly. And then you turn to, oh, I'll just have a glass of wine, turning into two, turning into three, as coping mechanisms.
yes, they are.
Same with drug use, and amongst physicians, that's really, I'm
Common.
not just saying physicians, but Yes, it's a common coping mechanism, but it can happen again insidiously. You don't even realize it. And then it's like, holy shit, how did that happen?
Yes, right.
So it's being aware of that. So physically, and I was getting aches and pains. And I thought I put it down to low vitamin D, lack of sleep, all of these things that, probably were compounding this.
Wow.
But I wasn't looking in. And that's what I say. It's like my heart is literally breaking. And I'm like, there's a teeny little whisper going, Noopy, 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 take notice. And I'm going, no, fuck off. We're going to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep proving yourself until you can't. And that's when it came to a standstill. So those are some of the things. And then anxiety, worrying, not able to switch off, I've already said. It's a whole myriad of very similar common symptoms that we see with anxiety, with low mood, with depression, but it's the persistence and then leading to disconnection, cynicism about your role, cynicism about the world. And I think it's recognizing that. So somebody I'm the positive person, I'm optimistic, I'd always see the good side and flip around like a fairy. I've always been like that. I just was not interested.
Yeah.
And it just,
I cannot imagine you being that way. Really. But yet I know exactly what you mean, because I've faced burnout myself. And I think probably many people that are listening to us having this conversation have faced burnout as well. And sometimes we don't know it until you just cannot
smacks you in the
go
face
any further.
Yes.
Sonia, I want to just acknowledge what Sonia said here. She says, a great way to pivot, especially when burning out, is to share your knowledge. Being a coach, mentor, or advisor also gives you a different sense of purpose, which definitely ignites a feeling of well-being.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Dr. Nubi.
Thank you, Sonia. Yes. Absolutely. And I think, you know what? I think the reason I went on as long as I did was because irrespectively, that the cynicism with my work or that purpose, that never went, that never left.
Yeah.
And it was that I remember I could drive to work just grey and just but I would get into my office and just, okay, I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
I could do for others,
yes,
but not for me.
Yes.
Which sounds very weird and it sounds completely insane. But it was much easier not to put the focus on me, because I could just push it away again and it's not really there, and keep busy in that respect and serve others. And that would give me this boost that got a little bit of fizz back, but then underneath it all, nothing's changed, not really. But that was enough, I think. And I do know that what kept me going for as long as I did.
Yes.
Because I loved what I did so much. And that sort of well-being feeling in myself.
Yes.
Because I was doing with others, that was just enough to keep me going. Just.
Yes. I get it.
Until actually, and again, another thing that made me stop was, I remember, it's always the way the universe sends you signals and signs. 3 patients back to back with maybe varying stages, and I'm hearing myself say to them, slow down, take time out for yourself, your needs. I didn't know about this as such, but it was like, to me it was common sense, but this is what And I remember after the 3rd one, I was like, there's always this sort of tends to happen. And I was like, gosh, isn't that funny? 3 people similar. And I remember thinking, gosh, I wish, and not to sound big-headed, because I was actually listening to what I was saying, and I believe what I was saying. I wish somebody as good as me would say that to me.
Yeah.
And really listen and see me, because I think I might actually take notice. And it was a fleeting thought. And it was gone. And then it was only a couple of weeks later when it was all like, who's going to miss me, all of this. that it worked. It shook me.
Wow.
But again, I sort of saw that thought and I didn't reach out for help still. I
Yeah.
didn't go to my doctor and go, will you say something like that to me, please?
Yeah. Yeah. And
It didn't even cross my mind.
yet though,
Denial.
you could have just said it to yourself.
Oh no, but I couldn't do that because I didn't
Then you
value
would have to
myself.
acknowledge that it was actually happening.
And
Yeah.
also, that's the backbone to this is I
Yeah.
didn't value myself.
Yeah. We
That
all
was the
do that.
problem.
Yeah.
I wasn't valuing me. I wasn't valuing myself. I
Yeah.
was certainly being a complete witch to myself. Ugh,
Yeah.
pathetic, useless.
Yeah. Come on, just
Da,
suck it
da,
up.
da, da. Yeah. And
Yeah.
worse, my God, the
Yes.
stuff that we say to ourselves.
Yes. Self-talk matters, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I had a
Yeah.
right field day. And
Yeah.
that's your inner critic. I had a fucking
Yeah.
field day because I was completely
Yeah.
believing it that
Yeah.
I am useless. I am rubbish. I can't do anything. And da, da, da,
Jeez.
da. And it
Wow.
was horrible. Yeah. So
Wow.
there was no value. There was no self-worth. But
Yeah.
I could mask it. I could,
You could mask it because
to
you're,
everybody else, because of my
yes,
personality, you're my
not
extrovert,
just your personality, but
bubbly.
because also what you were doing was making a
Yes.
difference to others and
Yes.
making you feel better about yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
And we all do that. How
Yes.
the only thing is now, Dr. Nubi, we've
Yeah.
already gone over an hour.
My gosh. Didn't even
So
realize.
I want to just, we need to wrap it up, but I would like you to please tell us, just share with us, because now, yes, you did go through the burnout, and it's part of your experience. It's part of what you give back
Yeah.
to your community.
Yeah.
So if you can share with us your F list so that we know
Yeah.
how it is that you help others
Sure.
overcome their burnout.
Yes.
It's helped me. So please go ahead and share.
Oh. So all through that journey, I was blessed with having the right specialist at the right time. And there's a thing to be said about divine timing. And all the knowledge, the skills, the techniques I learned and then went on to study and further discover, that essentially is what's in my F list. And I created it. I knew actually when I was much, much better through my own journey. And I knew I was going to share this with my patient community in some shape or form. And that's exactly what the F list is. It's everything I learn and do for me. And it's a framework. It's like a holistic prescription of sorts. And it helps you to keep that core foundation. It's the core foundation to your health and well-being. And it is the concepts within it. It's so much more than just a list. It is teaching you and guiding you to know your worth, recognize what your needs are. How do I keep them topped up and how do I keep them in balance? How to recognize what the body's saying. It's getting louder and louder. Okay. And essentially, what it does is address certain things which you might think are the most common sense, obvious things. It's not rocket science, what I've created. But sometimes when you are in that state, be it physically, emotionally, having a structure that gives you permission from your doctor to go and have some fun regularly, to eat regularly and properly. All these little things, they add up and they all combine. So the F list is, the first three are my favorite. The first one being fuck off, straight to focus and breathe, and flip. So they're all the combination of all three of them. The fuck off is it's not to be rude, it's not to be offensive, and it's not going around going like that to everybody. It is a way of giving your mind, body, soul a bit of a shock and to stop almost going into react mode, and high alert mode. It just keeps you here and reminds you to check in on your needs and take ownership. Straight with that F off, to keep yourself in respond mode, where you're still able to problem solve and think better, is your breathing. And I would teach the breath work. So that's the focus and breathe. Flip is all about noticing what's coming up emotionally, your feelings, naming them and reframing them. So it's the negative thoughts, it's the negative critical cycle that starts happening. Your thoughts, your feelings do not govern you. You have the power to recognize, reflect, and reset yourself at any time. That's the flip. It's seeing the flip side. And it's about perspective. That's the key thing there. Then you've got food, fluids, and fresh air. Food, if you eat crap, you're going to feel like crap. It's not rocket science again. Fluids, plenty of water, hydration, your body needs it. These are your basic physical needs. Alcohol, keep to a minimum. If you're feeling off, not good, alcohol's a depressant. It will also impair your sleep. You don't need that. Fresh air, exercise, get your body moving, get out physically into the fresh air. Being with nature, you can reset your vibration energies to tune into Mother Earth's nature, to Mother Earth's frequencies, and it's healing. Exercise releases all those beautiful endorphins, which counterbalances this feeling. Friends is all about connection, the right connections, as we've been talking about earlier, who uplift you, and you have a choice. You have that power to choose. And you might be surrounded by lots of amazing people, but it may be a group of people or colleagues. Really, you just feel drained.
Yeah.
Okay, if you feel drained and it's not serving you, I'm not saying go and become a recluse and not go out ever again or socialize with them ever again, but recognize and notice what it is you're feeling with certain people.
Yeah.
If that's coming up regularly,
Yeah.
you get to choose. You don't have to go. You can protect your own energy, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
So that's the friends. Fun is all about rediscovering the things that light you up, your hobbies, quiet time, things that you used to do as a child with just complete abandon, arts, crafts, creative stuff. And I think, we're so good with kids, we really nourish their artistic, creative side. And as an adult, you kind of just don't do it anymore.
No.
So for me, everybody's different. You're unique in what lights you up. So for me, I discovered singing. I discovered my love for painting and drawing, etc., etc. Then after friends, you've got two more Fs. We've got flow, which is, it's a reminder that you're in tune with your needs, how to balance them back. And when you are in flow, it is just you're in tune with yourself, the world around you, and other people. And it's a reminder about the energy that you're feeling from inside is what you're going to send out, which is what you're going to receive back. And that is the power, again, of your thoughts and your feelings and how to flip it, because you can turn it right round and be present here, because that's the only zone we have control over.
Yes.
We can't change what's happened.
No.
We can't predict what's going to happen.
Yes.
Do that and stay here. That's, again, comes through the flow. And then the last F is fabulous, because you already are as you are. Wherever you meet me, say, whatever state of physical health or whatever's going on, fabulous as you are. Again, that's your vulnerability, and it's the strength within that. Then the 3 affirmations that go with the F list are all about ownership. I will, I want to, because I'm Missy Elliott, worth it. Oh yeah, I'm worth it. Yeah, worth it. That type of sassy worth it, not hi. Not that. More sassy than that. And it is. It's about
Yes.
ownership of your needs. And there we have
Yes.
it. My F
Wow.
list
And
in a
this,
very, very quick
wow. Thank
thingamabobble.
you. Thank you. This was amazing, Dr. Nubi. You are fabulous.
Oh,
You
thank
are.
you, Inga. Thank
And
you.
what a privilege it was to be able to have this conversation with you on this platform, where I can share you with all my friends on
Oh,
AfriCorp Radio as well as LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook.
thank
Um,
you.
we've learned so much from you, and I've been receiving some private messages
Have
because
you?
people are they don't want to share sometimes, for public consumption, but I've
Yeah.
been receiving some private messages that have said, people are saying like, wow, she's truly speaking to me.
Wow.
So thank you for the difference that you make. um,
Thank
I
you.
know, to if anybody's watching, they can see there's nothing ordinary about you. But what I'm trying to say is that
Oh,
we are ordinary. We are just that girl next door, but we are making an extraordinary difference. And this is what life is truly about, being able
yes.
to pour into the lives of others and uplift them and empower them to be the very best version of ourselves. So
Yes.
thank you. Thank you for being part of episode 5 of
I've loved
Wonder
it.
Women Wednesday. It has been a jam packed month of March for this show. How often do we get 5 Wednesdays in the month, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really been a privilege to be able to have you on here with me. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, Inga. I just
oh,
want
it's a
to
pleasure.
say and acknowledge and honor you because you
Thank
are
you.
also amazing and you're a giver and you've highlighted so many amazing people,
It's my honor
even with
to
your
do so.
posts and everything that you do. So I
Thank
want
you.
to just say thank you to you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful what you've been doing, and it's honestly, it's just gorgeous. And I'm so grateful
Thank
for our
you.
connection, for our friendship, and everything else that's come from this.
Thank you. I think I'll check with the listeners, but I'm pretty sure people would love to have you back on so that we can dive deeper
Oh,
into your F list,
I'd love to.
because it was explosive at the end, as well as the beginning. But it's so important because we need to wake ourselves up
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
that
yeah.
space.
And
Um,
if anybody wants to know more,
yes,
about the FLIT or is this, can I help? Of course I can. That the first 20-minute conversation is free. Go on my Calendly link. If you're not seeing anything there that works for your time, just direct message me on LinkedIn. I've restarted various shifts with clinics. That's why I've had to kind of block out more of my appointments, but direct message me.
yes,
Have that first conversation. You're in safe hands and you can trust me because I am a doctor.
yes,
And also, you might not need the whole program. It could just be what I have is like a 90-minute physenescence consultation, diagnostics, just to see where you're at. You will go away with a
yes,
decent framework of for one-ish problem, say for example. And if you want more, boom,
yes.
come back.
Thank
So
you.
my Calendly links all over LinkedIn, and
Yes,
that's the best way. Or
and
just direct
just
message me.
yes, just send her a message on LinkedIn. Dr. Nupi Aurora.
The
Um,
glitter practitioner.
yes, the glitter practitioner joining us from Manchester, UK. Thank you for being here.
Thank
And
you.
if you'd like to be part of the continuing conversation, we're going to wrap up on Africa Radio's website. Please go over there and listen in. I'm still going to be live for another 10 minutes. But thank you, Dr. Nupi.
No
I
problem.
need to
Thank
wrap up,
you.
and I'll see you on the other side.
Okie doke.
Ciao for now. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And tune in to listen to the wrap up on africa.co.za, Africa Radio. Be blessed and see you back here next week, Wednesday, for another episode of Wonder Women Wednesday.
Woohoo!
FYI, the time for the show is going to be changing. We have the 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. time slot in South Africa, which translates to 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please tune in next week, Wednesday. Be blessed. Bye for now.